Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Destiny video, and another Thursday update. Bungie have just dropped the weekly update, and as always, I'm here to bring you the lowdown on exactly what you need to know. Now, as is to be expected, this week's update is a tad light on information, mainly because they already dropped the Megaton this week, the House of Wolves teaser trailer, which, by the way, is awesome. Like, seriously awesome. So if you haven't seen that already, then please go and check it out. I even broke it down for you guys on the channel, so if you do want to see that and get all kind of technical and speculative and all that kind of stuff like that, then yes, go and check that one out. I'll leave a link to the breakdown and also the official trailer in the description box down below. But anyway, in a very Bungie way, even though they didn't say much this week, they still said something quite awesome, and something that has made the wait till next week even harder. As you know, earlier this week, Bungie laid out what the next 3 weeks would look like. On April 22nd, we get a walking tour of the Reef. April 29th, a live tour of the Trials of Osiris, and May the 6th, a tour of the Prison of Elders. But it's next week's preview that they spoke about today. First up, all these previews or walkthroughs, whatever you want to call them, are going to be done live on twitch.tv/Bungie. So if you aren't already following them, then make sure you do. Plus, if you don't already know, when you follow someone on Twitch, you get this nice little email every single time they go live. And if you don't have a Twitch account, then it's probably worth making one. Anyway, they have now also given us a time, 11 AM Pacific, and for those of you over in the UK, that is 7 PM BST. The title of the stream is The Reef Gear Upgrades. So, following the time specifics, here's what Deej had to say. Join us for a walking tour of the Vestian Outpost. Meet the vendors with whom you'll trade bravery for treasure. Learn about their motivations and objectives. Creative Director Christopher Barrett will be your guide. Special community guest Gothalion will ask the questions about what the next expansion to Destiny means for all of us. And then below that, he outlined the main burning curiosities that will be answered. Who will issue our new walking orders? What do we stand to gain from this alliance? What will happen to our existing gear? And will we ever visit the tower again? In brackets, yes, you most definitely will. They also dropped this image, which shows 3 Guardians standing in the new Reef social space. So, that is pretty awesome. I mean, obviously we still don't really know too much about it in the grand scheme of things because that's what next week's tour is for. But when you think about it, when they laid out the schedule this week, everything was kind of speculative. You know, you were thinking, a lot of people were saying, you know, will, for example, the Reef have vendors? Will it have, you know, all this different kind of stuff like that? And while obviously it's a social space, so it's kind of a given that they would have vendors, nothing was actually officially said. But obviously now, having seen this paragraph, having read this, they're clearly saying that, you know, we'll be kind of like looking at the people we'll be dealing with, the vendors, all that good stuff like that. So it does look like it's going to be, at least from what we said in this paragraph, a fully fleshed out tower-like environment in the Reef. So that is going to be really cool. I mean, that's something that I really am excited about, because if ever you played MMOs before, whether it's Destiny, whether it's, you know, something like World of Warcraft, Guild Wars, or anything like that, one of the really cool things about playing these kind of games is that when you venture to a new location, you know, you start off in one town, you like walk for ages and ages and ages, and suddenly you see a new town, and every time you get to a new town, there's new vendors, and they sell different things like that. So what'll be really cool, and I'm hoping to see next week, is if you can get to a point where, say, the gear you buy in the tower is completely different to the gear you can buy in the Reef. That will be really cool, because then, you know, you go to the tower for one kind of set of gear, you go to the Reef for another set of gear, and then when people are leveling up, even if it's not necessarily max level gear, at least that way you get some more variety. It'll be a bit annoying if you kind of can buy the exact same gear from the vendor in the Reef. But anyway, that is just something I kind of just thought I'd drop in, just something I'd like to see personally, and something I'm looking forward to seeing next week. But anyway, with that being said, that is pretty much all there was in this week's update. Which is fair enough, you know, they've already dropped a crap load of information this week, and obviously the massive update as well. So yeah, that is it for this week. Now obviously next week, as soon as the stream is finished on Wednesday the 22nd of April, I will have a breakdown for you guys of everything that was shown. So if you didn't see it, then obviously you can catch up there. And if you did see it, then obviously you can kind of just come over here and kind of talk about things and talk about everything we saw. So that's what's coming next week. But aside from that, that is it for this week. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys are hoping to see in the Reef in next week's stream. And thank you very much for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.